Hi guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. My name is NORNIZA binti Zainul IDRIS. This is going to be a short presentation video for one of my master degree subject, which is UPTF 6033 Dynamics of Leadership for Dr. Jamilah binti Ahmad. And my topic for today is Contingency Leadership Theories. So what is Contingency Leadership Theories? The theories assume that leadership styles varies from one situation into one situation, and the major difference is selecting the appropriate leadership styles based on the persons and situational factors. So in 1951, Predictive began to develop the first situational leadership theory, and he named the theory as the Contingency Theory of Leader Effectiveness. So guys, according to Predictive, this theory is actually an organizational theory that claims there is no best way to organize a corporation, to lead a company, or to make decisions, but instead, the optional course of actions is contingent upon the internal and external situations. And the theory of leadership supposes that a leader effectiveness is contingent on whether or not their leadership style suits a particular situation. So, according to this theory, an individual can be an effective leader in one situation, but can be ineffective leader in different situations. So, according to Professor J. Conger from Canada's McGill University, in times of great transitions, leadership becomes critically important. Leader, in a sense, offer as a pathway of confidence and directions as we move through seeming chaos. So according to him, the magnitude of today's changes will demand not only more leaderships, but new forms of leadership. So the questions are, what will leaders of tomorrow be like? What is the role of leaderships in 21st century? How different approaches and styles of leadership impact what is needed now. Let's take a look at the key strengths of contingency theory, whether or not it can be applied into 21st century leadership styles. Let's continue. Number one, contingency theory is grounded in research, as many researchers have tested the theory and found it valid and reliable approaches to explain how effective leadership can be achieved. Number two, the theory considers the impact of situations on leaders and focus on the relationship between the leadership styles and the demands of various situations. Let's take a look at number three. Contingency theory has predictive power and based on LPC skill. It explains that the context of workplace situations can decide on the probability of success for a given person in a given situation. Point number four. Based on organizational perspective, the theory supports identifications of optimal role based on individual leadership styles and placing leaders in charge of situations that are ideal for leadership styles. So guys, let's take a look at the practicality. Number one. Contingency theory can be used to assess the effectiveness of an individual in particular role and look at the reasons for one effectiveness or ineffectiveness. Point number two. The theory can be used to predict whether a person who has worked well in one's position in an organization will be equally effective in another position. And point number three. The theory helps in implementing changes in the roles and responsibility that management might need to make and to bring effectiveness to the role of the person leading the same position or different positions. So now that we understand the basic of the theory, it is said that the theory might not be best leadership theory to be applied in most situations, but it can be a tool to analyze whether or not a leader should focus on tasks or relationships or based on the situations. So that's the end of my presentation. See you soon. Goodbye.